James wanted burgers recently, and well, you might recognize some of his homegrown tomatoes there.
I even recognize them.
Yes.
I saw many of them really up close.
And the little orange ones are from my garden, I think. Probably not from yours, but I don't know. I might have mixed them in the same container as his garden stuff. But the burger patties are small because he wanted them that way.
Well, is this table relatively clean, or?
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, he smashes it down so that it's a really thin patty.
Because I still have a little trouble with GERD, gastroesophageal reflux disorder, I think it's what it stands for, and
so yeah, he smushes them out and then he puts all of his toppings.
And so it's a little.
He eats them like an open face sandwich.
Open face sandwich. There we go. That's not like a barefaced lie. That's not like what Jason Kenney says. An open face sandwich is good. A barefaced lie is good for nothing.
But anyway, these are the broccoli patties.
They don't taste like broccoli. I like broccoli, but these taste way better.
So they look like broccoli and cheese.
You see?
Yeah. But
gee, I should have drawn a smiley face here. It's, there we go. Little nose there. See the nose here? I'll make the mouth even more emphasized. There we go.
Nobody can see that.
I know, it doesn't matter. They get the basic principle. Open face sandwich. There we go. Might be the first time anyone made a real open face sandwich. See?
With a face.
With a face.
James is...
Pauline made it, and I decorated. So, open face sandwich. See, I know what to do though here.
Yeah.
See?
Oh, yeah.
Open face sandwich. Is there onion here?
There are.
See,
you
just watch.
in the mix there.
Yeah, you just watch now. They're not that big, so these guys are going to have small mouths.
Did you already use the big ones?
I already used the big ones.
They're just little tiny mouths.
I'm going to use a red tomato for the nose here. This guy's a drinker. A dipsomaniac. No, it's a person who's a dipsomaniac.
Yeah.
That's leading.
We were listening to the CBC yesterday. And, well, he was listening to it more, I wasn't.
Yeah. I was listening to it too much. Really, more than it deserves, and they don't deserve my patronage.
You could even give it some arugula hair if you really wanted to.
Well, oh, smokes, that's great. Great idea. Yeah, there we go. I'll give him a part, or yeah.
I think your face is gonna fall right off when you.
Well, I don't know. You could lift the camera up or something like that. You don't have to. It's just whatever you like doing.
I like sitting and relaxing and drinking my beet.
I know. But sometimes you gotta, I suppose, do the camera work.
James is doing.
Here's the.
For fun.
This is a. I guess I've gendered these
Have
things.
you?
So yeah. Well,
okay.
Well, maybe not. Maybe this is. Maybe they're just whatever. Okay. One has long hair.
Oh, I see. Yeah. Yeah.
So there you go. Open
but I don't
face
know if
sandwiches.
That's gendered.
No, it's not. But I was setting it up that way. I was trying to do equal representation and stuff like that, but it'd probably be considered reductivist or something like that. And that is that's an awful thing. You know, they should be saying, person who's reductivist. You see that woman on CBC yesterday was mentioning that. She was saying that's reductivist. You know, like she was saying you don't go around classifying people because that's reductive. No, it shouldn't be, because that makes you a person who's reductivist. She was disobeying her very own
That is funny.
little own law. But of course, that's
Well,
what it's
she was
all
talking about how it's words are so important.
Words
Language is-
matter.
Yeah.
You know,
And really,
she's not the first to say that, incidentally.
no.
All
But-
these censoring
Yes.
the people are.
They are constantly changing the words
Mhm.
and punishing people who don't
conform.
yeah, to whatever they've come up with.
And they're supposed to kind of guess. You know, hey, you're not up on the latest? Wow, you know. They're the Giorgio Armanis of linguistics or whatever, you know.
We'll watch that one.
Prescriptive linguistics. You'd better do what we say, or else you're gonna find yourself without a job or whatever. No threats, but better watch it. We hate witch hunting, at least when it's done to us. And of course, it's whatever they call a witch hunting when it's done to them. But when they do it to others, oh, it's just straightening people up and making them fly right.
Frankly, words don't matter that much.
They don't matter.
It matters what's behind, like the motivation behind how they're used, what's
Deeds
intended.
matter. Deeds matter.
Yeah.
So when you go and witch hunt people for not using the words that you like, then that matters.
Mm-hmm.
Deeds matter. Witch hunting matters, you witch hunters. But yeah, so we'll.
Better take that away from you, or you'll think it's.
I almost went and grabbed it. It looked
Yeah.
so appetizing.
I know, but the ones on your plate are appetizing. That
Yeah.
one was off the floor.
Anyway, so off the floor, segue to off the wall. We're going back to CBC in this little program. So it's one of their resident medical experts. Sounds like Mary Lou Carrillo of tennis fame, one-time sports color commentator, and really unattractive voice. I mean, it sounds like a crow squawking or something like that. Anyway,
Oh, was that one that was all in the spring when Jason Kenney was making his noises? She was all behind him. She was like, "Oh, I'm in support of whatever."
I sure hope not.
Yeah.
Is this person? I don't know if they're.
Because she was a medical one. She was all in support of it.
I'm
and it
not
was
sure
like,
what her
my.
qualifications are. I think she's a journalist, but she might have something like some sort of
Okay.
medical qualification. So I don't want to put her in that boat. Although I'd rather have a journalist who doesn't know things,
Yeah.
saying stuff like that. When they're like Teresa Tam and they know better.
Exactly.
It's not a question of they should know better. Teresa Tam knew
Knows better.
about
Yeah, exactly.
masks, and she wasn't just saying that they didn't work, but they were counterproductive. Teresa Tam,
Yeah.
you
And,
are a
I mean, remember
criminal against humanity.
when COVID hit here and we were all shut down, told to stay at home and this and that for a while.
No.
And the gas prices were really cheap then, so we could have went somewhere. But we were told not to. And we listened, even though, I mean, there was no penalty for not listening. But amiable people, they listened and do what they're told, and the aggressive people did not do what they were told. And but remember, at that time, there was no bleach on the shelves at the grocery store. There was no Lysol. There was nothing to protect yourself with at the grocery store. It wasn't available. And
Yeah.
I was sitting there thinking they can't be needing all of the bleach for hospitals. I mean, how tough is it for them to produce bleach? Why is it not there?
Mm-hmm.
You know? Mm-hmm. And really, at this point in things, the public should be looking at all of this and saying, well, this has to have been done on purpose. And who are they trying to knock off? Because they obviously let it in on purpose. They wanted it to come in and run through the population. So who are they trying to take out? I mean, you should be thinking about this. We're going into a winter where really you won't be able to go to emergency. You won't be able to go to the hospitals in Alberta. You really have to be wondering who they intend on triaging out. And if you are somebody that has been basically triaged out of healthcare all along, assume it's you. Assume you're going to be triaged out. So it's probably safer to protect yourself at home right now. Do the best that you can to eat healthy and stay away from other people. You don't want to get sick right now because you probably won't get the care if you end up having to go to the hospital. Expect that you won't get it. Don't expect that it's there for you. It's never been there for you. If it's never been there for you, it won't be there for you this winter.
If you're not a loudmouth, barely a supporter of the conservative, what do we call it? Oh yeah, the WCP, the wild COVID party that goes under the deck name is Deckname, as the Germans say, which is a cover name. I like that Deckname. I believe that's what it is in German. If I got it slightly wrong, I hope you'll excuse me if you're sitting at Emden or Essen or Stade, way by Hamburg there. I hope you'll excuse me. I'm trying. Sorry. But yeah. Anyway.
I took the potatoes out of my soup for you.
I appreciate that. I need the tomato potatoes to kind of, when I eat this much.
Yeah.
Veggies and fruit. Tomatoes and fruit, as I recall. Then I become too regular. So anyway. Yeah. So this CBC program, this Mary Lou Carrillo stand-in, she's yipping and yapping about this study. You've got to be careful about studies because people get a bee in their bonnet, and the studies tend to reflect what they're figuring. So the study was something like they're giving doctors forms. And in a certain section of form, or one of the type of forms, schizophrenics were called schizophrenics. The other one, people who are schizophrenic. And I believe it was for mental conditions. And the way it was being presented by this so-called expert medicine was that the doctors were more eager to treat the schizophrenics
if they were
portrayed as schizophrenics. More eager to treat them. See, here's the thing where the way she was putting it was prescribe harsher measures.
Oh.
You see, it's a matter of interpretation. If you are schizophrenic
you need
and
treatment.
You're like my sister, you need treatment.
Oh my gosh, that slipped by me.
I know, it almost slipped by me. But yeah, well. Yeah.
Usually I'm the one to catch these things.
Yeah. Anyway, she was more likely to prescribe treatment, a harsher treatment, all this sort of stuff. See, it's a question of, hey, you know, like they could have treated me with a little bit baking soda twice a day. I don't think that would have worked.
That worked for somebody.
Well, that's what he says. It's only 3 years.
Okay.
Since he had prostate cancer.
Well, a lot of people die in that amount of time, so he's still
prostate
kicking.
Cancer usually is very slow. Fact is, when you get people his age, oftentimes they don't even treat it. Okay? Because that, honest to God.
All right.
Because the treatment might be worse than the prostate cancer.
Well, he might actually be treating himself with baking soda. You don't know.
Neither does he.
Okay, go ahead with your story.
Anyway, so, I mean, it's hilarious the way she's presenting this. It's sad. But I laugh at the funniest things. Well, they're not funny, but anyway. Then she extends it to, this can be applied to people with, you don't say it about people who are diabetic. See, I even said that, people who are diabetic, but maybe she said that.
Oh my gosh.
You know, diabetics. You don't say, you say people who are diabetic because they're going to get treated. Maybe I should have walked in there and said, hey, I'm not a, what would it be? Is there a term like that? I'm not a
person with cancer.
Yeah, but what would have been the thing that would have, but of course I didn't know what was wrong.
Cancer patient?
Cancer, I don't know. No, they don't have a term like diabetic for it. I'm a what is it? Multiple myelomoid or something like that. Yeah, I'm a multiple myeloma. Don't treat me like a multiple myelomoid. Don't treat me like a multiple myeloma. I just woke up this. So.
He did. I'd already eaten my breakfast.
Yeah. So don't treat me like a person with multiple myeloma. Okay? I'm getting scared. Yeah, hey, and the thing is about treatment, you better get some treatment if you got multiple myeloma. How long did they wait? They kind of sat on their hands. I'm not going to tell you where their thumbs were, but they were twiddling both of their thumbs. Okay? I think they were getting a little bit of a kick out of it too. But at any rate, excuse me for working blue there, but these guys were awful, guys and gals, and
in Lethbridge.
In Lethbridge.
The doctors in Lethbridge.
Yep.
Once we went
so
to
the 11th doctor, and he was in Grand Prairie, who dealt with my condition. I was terminal by that point in time, and not really, but that's what they figured. And there was a group of them that figured it wasn't
obviously
just one.
Not terminal, because here he is.
Yeah, but it was close, really, really close. Anyway, I saw 10 before, and they're going around. Hey, you got problems. Let me prescribe some Ativan for you. Let me prescribe some antidepressants for you. Antidepressants? I don't need antidepressant. I'm not depressed by COVID. I wasn't depressed by when they finally told me I was terminal. I was kind of relieved. Hey, you know, like, I was right. There was something not just wrong, but seriously wrong with me. Wow, you know. So yeah, they let my back get all smashed up. Yeah, yesterday they gave me the results of an MRI, and thank heaven, you know, it's no different from the MRI. My back is no different from.
Yeah, it's just he's going to have to learn how to treat it a little bit differently.
Yeah, but I mean, it's what I've had for 10 years. It hasn't gotten any worse. The actual condition, but I just got to make sure that I don't push it as hard as I did, because I got numbness on the bottom of my feet. It's kind of scary, you know, because if the numbness goes too far, I'm like a paraplegic, I guess. I don't know how it works out. Anyway, and a little bit of numbness in my fingers, so if that goes too far,
I've had
then I'm a quadriplegic.
And lips for a long time.
Yeah. Well, we don't know if that was caused by back condition, but here's the deal. One of my fractures, the doctor was saying, is my piece of vertebra is compression fractures down to half. That's the one she's worried about. That's the one.
Yeah, that she thinks is causing the pain.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, probably.
And it's more, I don't want to overstate the case. It's generally not pain. You've seen me when I've been in pain. It hasn't been that much the last little while, but it's a numbness. You know, they were asking me a month ago, like, do you have trouble with your balance? No, hey, I got trouble with my back, and I got trouble with my balance, and I don't want to trip. You see how these sorts of things kind of like become feedback. Anyway, this woman's extended. No, yeah, she's doing the one extending. I hope the doctors weren't doing it too. Hey, it's going to be different the way, you know, like if it's just regular medical conditions, not people being mentally ill. So she's already done this stupid extension. I hope the doctors didn't, the people who are doing the investigation, because you can't make a jump like that. Yeah. Fact is, I'd like to find out if they examined the whole gamut of conditions, because they might treat people very differently if they've got one type of condition as opposed to another. You know, like if they're kleptomaniacs, maybe they're going to treat them as though they're like criminals or something like that. If they're schizophrenic, dangerous. You know, like manic depressive, dangerous. Like someone who's got an OCD. Okay, that's okay. You know, they're just you know, you don't know, and you can't. I think they were talking about schizophrenia. I'm not sure, but I mean. It seemed like a very unsatisfactory study. And so then she goes one step further, you know, like, and, you know, lemmings have leaders. And she's a lemming. I'm not following her over this stupid cliff. Hey, what happened to me? I'm in the North Sea. Blah, blah, blah. I'm not following her over this cliff. So lemmings have leaders, I presume. Someone's the first to go dashing off into the Arctic Ocean or the northern part of the North Sea. So, yeah. So we shouldn't be calling maskers or anti-maskers. Call them people who anti-mask or something. This was her suggestion. I get the feeling it was almost her prescription,
anyway,
not
suggestion. Something like you don't want to set up it's us against them kind of situation or whatever.
That's good. I don't want to hear people calling people Zionists. Hey, those Zionists! Wow, you know. But of course, these faux gauchers or faux gauches, fake left wingers, they're going around. Who are they? Oh yeah, we'll talk about this one a little bit more. They're the ones who, hey, like, don't shut down the borders with China, because that'd be racist.
I mean, it doesn't.
But they're the ones that are going around and say, boycott Israel. You know, like, get rid of enemy Paul. Oh, that's the people in the Green Party. That's someone else. She's the one who's the leader of the Greens.
Yeah, I feel bad for her.
Oh, it's awful.
It's terrible, because she was really the only one who was competent to lead anyone who ran in this last election. But there was no way that she could win. Not even her party members would support her. It was ridiculous.
Not even the people who regularly supported them now. Hopefully, some of that was just strategic voting, recognizing that their vote wasn't going to matter.
That's true. Yeah.
So let's just assume all of it was.
Yeah.
Because Greens theoretically care. The people who are running for them, people who support them, I understand. It's only theoretical. If you're not, number one, worried about overpopulation.
But no, it doesn't matter. If you call somebody an anti-vaxxer and you don't get to know why they're not wanting to vaccinate or whatever, then what does it matter? But I'll say right now, I'm actually for the anti-vaxxers who have decided to go stay on their farms or go out and be a survivalist out in the wilderness and keep their families out there and not come in.
Ever.
To not come in
Ever.
to mix with the public as long as this pandemic is going on. And it could be decades at this rate. It could be forever. Who knows? But don't mix. If you're not going to vaccinate it, you can't mix with the rest of the population that is. That's
and if you make the mistake of mixing once and you catch COVID, don't mix anymore. Stay out of our hospitals. But go on.
But yeah, I'm actually I think that those anti-vaxxers who have chosen not to vaccinate and stay away from the public, they are smarter than the rest of the population. Because the vaccines that we have, we don't know what they're going to do.
They're powerful. You got both of yours.
Yeah.
The second time you were suffering.
Yes. And but you don't know what the long-term effects are going to be from that. You don't know what the long-term effects are going to be from COVID. Stay away from both. If you have that opportunity.
If you survive the short-term effects.
If you can manage to stay away and produce your own food, or if you're a hunter, hunt your own food, whatever, and not mix with the rest of humankind for a while, you're actually a lot smarter than the rest of us, because there's these vaccines aren't 100%, and things are getting really bad here in Alberta. They're going to be terrible over the winter. If you're on a farm right now and you have your root cellar full and you're doing a lot of canning right now, you've started doing your canning and get everything ready, and start taking stock of, okay, this is how much we'll be eating of this and this and this to get us through, because it's going to be a bad winter here in Alberta.
I'm afraid so. Some people aren't going to make it through.
A lot of people aren't going to make it.
Anyway, CBC, for putting on that little feature. I don't think it was a full program. And not asking the proper questions. Just, wow. Oh yeah? You know, that sort of stuff. That's Fox Network type of journalism. You should be asking some questions like, who did this study? Like, how careful were they? You know, was it, how representative was it? So on and so forth. Well, that seems a little ridiculous to jump from schizophrenia to diabetes, and you're really making a jump when you jump to maskers. I mean, really. You know, the little message that comes with this is anti-maskers have medical problem.
It is. Yeah, that's the message that comes through.
Medical problem.
And that's offensive. So what they just did on the CBC with that show was offensive, and they were, you know, they don't even really get it, do they? I don't think they intended that.
Yeah.
But that's
so maybe
what they said with the program.
So what I want to say to you is, I want to treat you with respect that you deserve, okay? So I want to leave you with this. Thank you for that program.